This is the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We're here once again, the fastest rising podcast. We got big news coming up. But before we get too far into the show, we got our weekly review. Like I said, we got the big news, we got the trivia, we got the take of the week, the special take of the week, because I got a take of my own. But before we get too far, I am one half of your hosting team, Micah, and my Anthony Davis. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, great to be back here with you, ready to scoop it, slam it, and talk about the very, I don't want to say it's been a midweek in wrestling. It's kind of been a little bit above that, above average week in wrestling news and happenings.
Maybe in the news. I don't know about the shows.
Well, you know, we had a couple good things on the shows. Come on, Micah.
Well, we'll touch on it. But before we get to the shows, let's go ahead. We're not officially announcing anything just yet. But all I'm going to say is stay tuned in the next couple weeks. We've got our first ever interview with a WWE NXT superstar.
Oof.
And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be the first week of December. So next week on our Full Gear review, I will announce who our guest will be and kind of build anticipation for that. And you will hear it first on the audio. That's the first place you're going to hear it. Then after that, I will put it on our social media, stuff like that. But if you want to get the exclusive news, make sure to listen to our Full Gear review. It'll be at the beginning of the show. But again, we've got an interview. It will probably come out either December 3rd or December 4th with a WWE or NXT superstar. So make sure you're staying tuned to that. But for this week, let's start off hot with the Scoop Slam trivia.
Oh, all right. What we got this week? 'Cause you got me last week, Micah.
Well, I think you'll like this one a little more. So a couple weeks ago, when we were sticking more consistent with our recording, we did one of the squares, a crossover grid is what it's really called. You remember what I'm talking about? I give you two things. You got to pick, if one of them was partnered with Eddie Guerrero and beat Randy Orton, you might say Rey Mysterio.
Okay.
And it goes down the square like that. So I'll give you the categories. If you guys want to play along, go to crossovergrid.com. At the top, there will be a section that says WWE, and we are playing the number one, or the first edition of it. So the way this works is I will give you, let's see. Well, you got 9 guesses. Well, let me do unlimited guesses. Let me give you a time limit. I'll give you 3 minutes. So, like I said, I'm going to give you 2 categories. You got to name somebody who has done both of those things, and we'll go from there. So let me get my timer ready. Like I said, if you want to play, it's crossovergrid.com. And to start us off, Ryan, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1. Your first category is partnered with Sting and won the WWE Championship.
Partnered, so like any tag match?
Yeah, anybody who's ever had a tag match with Sting.
Bret Hart.
All right. Next up is partnered with Hulk Hogan and won a WWE Championship.
Randy Savage. Macho Man. Yeah.
All right. Next up is partnered with Big Van Vader and won a WWE Championship.
Partnered with Mankind?
Let's try that. If that don't work, we can skip it and go to another one. No, that is not right. You want to move on?
How much time I got?
2 minutes.
Yeah, let's move on.
Okay. Partnered with Sting and won the Intercontinental Championship.
Intercontinental? Jeez. Ric Flair? Rick tag with Sting?
I'm sure he tagged with him. Yep, that's right. All right, so won the Intercontinental Championship and partnered with Hulk Hogan.
One that. Oh, I can't use. I got Edge.
Oh wow, that one's I forget about that. Partner with Big Van Vader and won the Intercontinental Championship.
Bro, who tagged with Vader? I don't remember him having tag matches. Yeah, move on.
All right, won the WCW Championship and partnered with Sting.
The WCW Championship and partnered with Sting. Lex Luger.
That's a good one. All right, partner with Hogan and won the WCW Championship.
Kevin Nash.
Oh, that's exactly who I was thinking. And that's right. All right. Won the WCW Championship and partner with Vader. So you got the WWE Championship, Intercontinental, and WCW. You got 45 seconds.
Come on, man. Jeez Louise. Ooh. Man. I'm gonna have to Micah, can you help me out here?
I'm gonna try
You got me
Gold
guessing.
Dust.
He partnered with Gold Dust? Yeah, I think he feuded with Gold Dust.
What about Goldberg?
No way. No.
No.
Goldberg was like late 90s. Vader was
We're out of time.
Oh man.
I really don't know. Let's see if we can figure out here. Who partnered with Vader in the WWF? Yokozuna?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Okay, that's WWE Championship.
Okay.
Partnered with Vader and won the Intercontinental. What about Owen? Camp Cornette. Boom. All right. Won WCW and partnered with Vader. Let's go Ron Simmons, maybe?
He beat him, didn't he? For the world title.
Yeah, but they did partner together. So yeah, we got it.
Wow.
It wasn't in time, but...
Look at you, Micah.
You
the historian? Are you the real historian?
No. I'm the statistician. The most popular guesses. Yeah, you know. Let's see. The most popular guesses for Vader won the WWE Championship was Undertaker, won IC was Davey Boy, and won the WCW was Flair. I didn't know him and Vader teamed up, but that wouldn't have been my first guess.
Who and Vader?
Flair.
Oh. Yeah, I remember Flair beat him for the title. I didn't know they teamed.
Yeah. Luger was a good one. Well, you didn't pass that.
Ah, man.
But we got another segment before we get into the shows.
What we got?
Again, we need a sponsor for it. Take of the week.
Oh.
Now, last week, you had a couple that were pretty atrocious, and I didn't have any. So I'm assuming you got one this week, and I'll let you go ahead with it.
Whoa. Hold up now, buddy. You said that you got something egregious, and I cannot wait to hear what you got to say. More terrible wrestling takes. No, I want to hear what you got to say, Micah. Come on, man.
It wasn't egregious, necessary. I was just disproving. I just got some numbers as the analyst here.
Okay, the numbers guy.
Yeah. So, a couple months ago, when one Mr. Adam Copeland debuted, the fanfare online was that this is just as big a signing as CM Punk was, and Edge is a bigger star than CM Punk.
Wow.
Well,
yeah.
Let's see how the numbers line up here, right?
Okay. All right. I'm listening.
All right. So, Edge debuted at the tail end of September, because Wrestle Dream, the date I believe was September 30th. Is that right? Does that sound right?
Yeah. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay. October 1st. My bad. October 1st. So that was the debut of Edge, right? So the initial Dynamite after Wrestle Dream, if you remember, it was There's apparently issues due to like DirecTV or somebody. You remember what I'm talking about? They had some kind of time issue.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so for that first show, 800,000. Okay, you got some issues, sure.
Okay, I'm with
Next
you.
week
Yeah.
was the 10th. That was the week that they had to face NXT head to head.
Oh,
Different
man.
night.
Tony Khan's meltdown? Yeah, I remember that week.
609,000.
Okay.
Fairly low, but again, preempted, different night, up against another television show, sure.
Well, do you
The next
remember?
week,
Do you remember that week that Tony Khan said that there was never a week that John Cena and Undertaker were on a show rated that low? And then he mentioned Edge was on the main event of his show with an even lower rating.
well, you know, that idea was thrown around.
Mm.
We got a whole episode on that, so I won't touch on it too much, but I really don't understand why he tried to make that such a big deal because at the end of the day, they lost.
Mm.
You were preempted, sure, and if you want to go with that, that's fine, but you started the war. They just finished it.
Well, whoa, hold up. We got part 2 of the war tonight. We got SmackDown against Collision. Who's gonna win that, Micah?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, let's put a pack of coyotes versus a stray cat. We'll see who wins.
Well, they got a strong new cat over there in ROH, if you haven't heard, Micah.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
So the following week, on their regular time, 901,000. Now, that was higher than they had done in months.
Yeah.
Next week, 774.
Ouch. Well, what was that? What happened there?
I couldn't tell you.
New gas station opened up down the street?
Big NBA game.
Okay. All right.
November 1st, 832. And to round this out, November 8th, 804.
Seems on par.
Pretty standard, about 800,000, which, for example, the months before, I'm going to just spout some numbers real quick. August 9th, 846. August 16th, 874. August 23rd, 870. You get the gist. Nothing really moved.
Mm-mm.
Now, let's go to Punk. Punk debuted, I believe it was, let me get the date right here. I got it wrote down. August 20th was his debut, right?
Yeah, hot summer.
So, the months before will start in June. Okay. 462,000, 487,000, 552, 649, 883, 871. Now, this time in July...
Yeah, hold up now, because they were up against NXT a little bit. Right before Punk got there, I believe.
I do think it was around the springtime.
Yeah.
But this was around the time that I was getting back into wrestling. And I remember the rumors started floating that summer that Punk might be coming back.
Yeah.
And I do think that helped their ratings a bit.
Okay.
So, 14th of July, 1,025,000. 21st of July, 1,148. Next week, 1,108. Next week, 1,102. 979, 975, and now we're at the date that Punk comes in, right?
Yep.
So, remember, Punk debuted on Rampage, August 20th.
The biggest Rampage in history. I don't think they've ever done a higher rating than that there.
1.1 million for his initial debut. Week after, 722. Week after, 696. Week after, 670. Let's go to the Dynamite ratings. Week that he debuted, well, it was on Rampage, obviously. But the week after, 1,172,000. The week after that, 1,004,000.
Wow.
So
1,000,004?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So I'm just saying.
Hmm.
I'm a numbers guy.
You
Numbers
are?
make sense to me.
Yeah. So are you saying Adam
Edge?
Copeland isn't a bigger star than CM Punk?
No.
What? Micah, what do you mean? He's a pivotal part of the Attitude Era.
Well, that was 20 years ago, and he
What?
don't work like that anymore.
You telling me he wasn't a top 5 guy in the Attitude Era?
I'm telling you that he wasn't a top 5 guy in the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah. I agree.
And look, I liked Edge,
Sure you did.
but no, come on now, don't. I'm not trying to bury the guy, but maybe just a little bit.
Well, he deserved it.
Look, I'm not burying Edge. I'm just saying these people that get these misconstrued ideas that Edge or Adam Copeland is a bigger star than Punk, the numbers don't lie. The numbers have not moved with the signing of Edge. Look at this past Dynamite. He wasn't even on it. I don't know if he's on Collision tonight. I hadn't watched it just yet, but he wasn't even on the show. And I saw nothing online clamoring for him to be there. Like, why, if he was such a big signing, then why is he not on the show? But secondly, Punk moved numbers on both shows as soon as he came in.
Yeah.
The same cannot be said for Edge.
No, yeah. Yeah, I gotta agree with you.
So at the end of the day, I know that was a long take of the week, but the takeaway from it, Edge is not that guy. He's not on Punk's level. And so AEW cut the biggest star that they can sign because the owner, well, not the owner, but the EVPs didn't want to play ball. And they're not going to get a bigger star.
I feel like I brought you around to the hating of Edge. You were a big fan of his a couple months ago, Micah.
I liked Edge when I was younger, and I still do like Edge, but my issue is not with him. My issue is with the people that tried to act like that signing was equivalent.
Yeah, and he's not. I feel like Christian has lost a lot of steam since Edge came in.
He feels like he's on autopilot. Like, what's the last really important Christian segment? Okay, it was probably the one with Edge. Okay, that was 4 weeks ago.
Jeez. Have they really not done anything on TV in 4 weeks?
I mean, I'm sure he's cut backstage promos or something with like Nick Wayne, but that's just not. Like, honestly, I could not tell you the last thing Edge did aside from the Luchasaurus match. Oh, no, he was in this past week's Collision. I watched the match, but I didn't write it down because it was just there. It wasn't bad.
I tuned out. I wasn't there for that. I had no interest in watching that. Isn't he on the pay-per-view coming up?
Yep, it's him. Is it him, Sting, and Darby versus Christian, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus?
So why would you do that for your first pay-per-view match for Adam Copeland? Supposedly a really huge star. His first pay-per-view match is a tag match? Really?
Everybody's got to get on the show, brother.
Man, we don't need the popcorn vendor and the guy that walked Tony Khan's dog last week. We don't need them on the show, Micah. You see how many tag matches we're getting on Saturday or Sunday?
Oh, I know.
I don't know when the pay-per-view is. Is it pay-per-view Saturday?
Yeah, it's Saturday because Collision got preempted tonight.
Okay, well, it's so many tag matches. We'll go over it later, but man, why? I don't understand. Do people
added more tonight?
Do people love tag matches that much?
They like to see their favorites on the show, and I get it. Like, I'm in favor of some of these on the card compared to like a 5-match card and all the matches go 20 minutes. But I don't know, man. Especially like they've got the tag match has like 8 people in it.
Yeah. And you know what it's going to be. They're going to follow the traditional tag rules for like the first 5 minutes, and then this is going to divulge into tornado tag at that point.
Oh, no. It's even better. Now it's a ladder match.
Oh, okay. All right. What, why? It's on the
Well,
app?
you know, because it'll be cool.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Okay. Yeah.
Well, when you put it that way. Well, anyways, did you have any takes
Bad.
of the week?
Yeah, I got this really bad fantasy booker from the AEW official Reddit page. This guy's name is surprised this wasn't taken up. Luchador. That's his name on Reddit, Luchador. So
Well,
shout out
see,
to
he
you.
won't be easily identified.
Okay, all right. I see what you did there. Uh, so shout out Luchador. He is booking Sting's last major change before he retires. Okay.
Okay, I'm following you.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Using Sting's last match in March as a springboard for a major change in the company. All right. I seriously doubt they would give Sting an AEW World Title match, but I could see it being Christian versus Sting for the TNT Championship and Sting winning. I mean, it's kind of fitting that his last match in WCW was on TNT, and his last match as a pro, he wins the TNT Championship. I don't hate it, but I don't want to see Christian lose it to a guy that's about to leave.
Yeah, that
Oh,
buries Christian.
well, he goes on. Then Sting can come out the following Dynamite and be celebrated and to surrender the championship. But the current design is retired with Sting as a tribute. And also TK would announce the TNT belt was being elevated to a world title, making Sting the last TNT champion and the first TNT world champion in a tournament. Because that's what we need, Michael. I don't know if we had many tournaments at AEW. Have we had one?
I don't think we have.
Okay. A tournament would be held to determine the next world champion. Because that's what we need. We need 2 world champions in AEW. Okay. Assuming everyone is healthy and still in AEW by March, I would make the format and all the former TNT champions: Luchasaurus, Christian, Wardlow, Samoa Joe, Miro, Darby, Hobbs, Sammy, or Scorpio Sky. So Scorpio Sky hasn't been seen on television in a whole year, Micah. I've seen more Scorpio Sky on the Los Angeles Lakers podcast than I have seen him on AEW television over the last year. But he's going to be in the World Championship tournament. Oh, and he has more people: Adam Copeland, Swerve, a bunch of names here, Micah. Give it a big time feel with big names. The matches could play out on Collision episodes leading up to the finals at Double or Nothing in May. The same pay-per-view the first TNT Championship was won. The tournament would really be bigger for all the former TNT champions, because this would be a elevated version of the championship that they never won before. Me personally, I don't think there would be anything wrong with 2 world championship titles, but I know some have a problem with it. But I think it could work because they have Collision now, so there's enough time to feature it, and plus it's not adding a new belt to the mix, just a new version of the existing belt. That was Luchador's big idea for Sting's exit. Give him the world title and then create a world title for Sting.
That seems almost like something they would do. Funny enough.
Is this Tony Khan?
This is a burner account. Look, you should not have. If you're gonna have 2 world titles, then it makes no sense to have 1 mid card title.
Yeah.
I understand the complaint. Like they wouldn't need more than 1 world title if their roster wasn't huge. But if you want to do 2 world titles, that's fine. I thought that's what they were going to do with Collision, and that doesn't personally bother me. This ain't the way to do it. And like you said, by God, can we have another tournament? There's always a tournament going in AEW.
Of course. That's what we do.
Because they love to have matches for just the sake of it.
Yeah. Tournament matches or wild, nonsensical multi-man matches. They love those too.
Oh, we'll get to both of those
Oh my.
reviewing this week.
Yeah. Yeah, so
So
that was my submission for terrible takes of the week by wrestling fans. Shout out to you, Luchador.
we need to get that sponsored by the Terrible Towels or something.
Okay, I'm listening.
Terrible Towel Take of the Week.
I'm there for it.
Rolls off the tongue. Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's sink our teeth into the weekly review. There's really not a whole lot. I got some things I want to harp on Dynamite, but other than that, pretty much a flyby week, like you said. Not.
We had a couple things happen. Come on now.
You said above average. I don't know about that.
Hey man, SmackDown. We'll get to that, but they had major development in a storyline.
Oh, that just one a week, and that puts it above average.
Well, considering what we see on WWE television every week, I think one thing happening is above and beyond what they're capable of producing on a weekly basis, Mike.
Yeah. Well, you got a point there.
Well, hold up now. No, we had another one on Raw too. We had something.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna get you back because I'm gonna remind you what happened, and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, yeah, that was good. I guarantee it.
Okay, maybe. But I think the best thing I've heard, honestly, comparing the two, is just that everything happens way too fast on Dynamite. Or not just Dynamite, but just in AEW. Like, they never let anything breathe. I remember everybody freaking, I can't even think of the word, stoned me to death because I thought that they did 18 angles in one segment when Hobbs turned on Starks and Hook beat him for the FTW title.
Well,
and everybody was like, no, that was the greatest, that was a great moment of television. You're just being sour.
Yeah, you didn't like the character development, Michael. You didn't like that?
And then on WWE, it's just, you get by if like one storyline happens.
Yeah.
There's got to be a happy medium.
I thought we were going to get that with Triple H booking, but I don't see that much of a difference, really. I mean, maybe we don't get as many rematches, but we still don't get a lot on the weekly televisions. At least not on Raw. SmackDown has a few more things, but that's probably because they only have 2 hours to fill instead of 3.
His booking is just not.
It's not bad. It's just not. I don't know. Nothing jumps out unless we're talking about the bloodline.
Yeah, but it's not like revolutionary. Oh, that's probably not the right word I'm thinking of. But it's just not like really different than what old WWE was. I mean, because when you had Vince running WWE and Triple H running NXT, they were very different. And that's what people were hopeful for. And there's aspects of that, but it's not fully different.
But I got to remind you, Micah, though. NXT, they had TV tapings every month or so, but they would tape like 4 shows, and they were all 1-hour shows. And Triple H had the benefit of keeping the show fresh because guys would get moved up to the main roster, and it kept the show fresh because you had fresh new faces every couple months. On Raw and SmackDown, you don't get that luxury. It's going to be 2 hours. It's going to be 3 hours. You're getting the same guys every single week. You don't get the luxury of mapping out what's going to happen at a months. Help me out here, Michael. Month-long TV.
I'm just gonna let you struggle.
Yeah. Okay. You know what I mean, man.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Like a full slate.
Yeah. Okay. Like one day they're taping a month's worth of television. There we go. Thank you. I can speak, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So he doesn't have that same luxury for booking WWE.
No, and I mean, I do understand that, and I don't think any wrestling TV show should be 3 hours. It didn't work with Nitro. It has not worked with Raw. But at the same time, I don't know. It feels like a lot of stuff stalls for a couple weeks and then something happens. Like the Judgment Day. Every week they're coming out there to interrupt Sammy or Cody or Jay. And then it's like JD McDonough's tried to get in the group for 6 months. Oh, he's finally here.
You think when they go to, well, supposedly the rumor is they're going to FX Monday Night Raw. You think when Monday Night Raw goes to FX, they would go back to 2 hours?
I don't think so, but I hope and pray at night. Yeah.
What if we get Monday Night Raw on a different day?
That's just weird.
Right. Yeah, that wouldn't feel right. Like Tuesday Night Raw.
Yeah, it don't roll off the tongue the same way.
But then again,
there's just history.
There is. But then again, SmackDown is coming to the USA Network. So could we get SmackDown on Monday?
Oh, God. Monday Night SmackDown and Friday Night Raw. Sounds like an awful parallel universe.
And then SmackDown becomes 3 hours.
Oh, no. Don't do my favorite blue brand like that. The workhorse brand. But speaking of Friday Night SmackDown, let's go ahead and get started. Really two things here we want to talk about. The first being Bobby Lashley versus Carlito. The match itself, honestly, it wasn't bad. It just was kind of there. It is crazy to see these guys still... They're having a match on national television in WWE in 2023. That's just crazy. I seen a graphic earlier. I don't remember, Twitter, Instagram, something, but Carlito's match at Survivor Series will be his first WWE pay-per-view match since Survivor. No. Was it Survivor Series? Armageddon 2007.
Armageddon, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
that's a throwback.
Whoa. Hold up now. He was in the company till 2010. You tell me he didn't have a pay-per-view match for 3 years?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that
that's crazy.
It was 2007.
Wait, no, hold up now. Didn't he win the tag titles with his brother at WrestleMania? Was that on the pre-show? Do we not count that? Remember they unified the titles at WrestleMania 25. Come on, Micah, you didn't have that DVD set.
No, I did. I thought it was Epico and Primo.
No, Epico wasn't in the company at that point. It's Carlito and Primo. Yeah, it was Carlito and Primo.
Nah, look, this is from Sportskeeda. Okay. While you may think that his last singles or pay-per-view match was in 2010, it was actually all the way back in 2007. Courtesy of Cage Match, looking through the database, revealed that his last singles PLE was all the way back at Unforgiven 2007 against Triple H.
Unforgiven?
Yeah, I thought it was Armageddon. My bad.
But didn't he win am I misremembering this? Did he not? Are they not counting the pre-show as
maybe not. You said it was WrestleMania 25?
Yeah, remember it was Miz and Morrison versus Carlito and Primo, and they unified the tag titles. I have no
memory of that.
I remember they unified the tag titles.
I remember them unifying the tag titles. I don't think it was Carlito. You're right. Yeah. This is why you're on the payroll. I guess because it was on the pre-show.
Okay. All right then. But still, man, that happened. He was at WrestleMania. Yeah. He just at the pre-show.
Well, moving forward, it is crazy for both these guys to be in the ring together, having a match, even if the match wasn't crazy. But the talking point really is the aftermath. Santos and Carlito had a spout before the match. Basically because Santos... Ray was like, Logan might have cheated, but I'm coming back for my U.S. title. Obviously, Santos was the one that sat the brass knucks there, and Carlito basically called him out for it. They had an issue, whatever. Carlito wrestled, tried to clear his mind. After the match, Santos and Ray get into a shoving match. Santos ends up crushing his knee into the stairs. and the LWO seems to have exploded.
Well, just one member, just one. Maybe we get
Well,
maybe we get an LWO Wolfpack.
what about Joaquin and what's the other one's name?
Uh,
Help me here.
I'm Joaquin Wild, and I remember his other name in NXT. I don't remember his name he has now. Oh, Cruz del Toro.
Yeah, that's it. What was his
Yeah.
old name?
Raul Mendoza.
See, okay, I remember that one from the game.
Yeah, he was in the. I remember he first appeared in the Cruiserweight Classic, and he was really good. He just can't talk.
Well, that seems to be the problem with most of the guys in the LWO. But regardless, I don't know if they're going to turn or not. But yeah, I do like where this feud is headed. I do feel like the LWO, as we were talking about earlier, has just kind of treaded water.
Yeah.
And they haven't really gotten a consistent push. But I think if Santos gets a win over Ray and a consistent push, I see him as an upper level mid card guy. I don't know that I can buy him as world champ, but I think he could be around for a good while, and this might be the thing to propel him.
I was a real big fan of his in Lucha Underground, so I think he has the tools to maybe get a fringe world title down the road, depending on what they do with him here. Because Ray, I don't know if you saw this, Micah, but he does have a knee injury, a legit knee injury, and he's gonna be out for a while. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Santos now. Maybe they have him feud with Carlito. Maybe he brings up some guys from NXT. They got the who's down there in NXT right now? Dang, they could fit in with him.
Well, Dragon Lee's already got called up, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's already been called up.
Him and Carmelo would be a good match, but Carmelo, I don't think, needs to be debuted just yet.
Yeah, maybe it's too soon for them. They had a guy named somebody from NXT show up on SmackDown tonight, but I don't see how he fits in. I don't know what they're gonna do with Santos right now. It's gonna be interesting. And did you see BFAB showing up backstage watching the Bobby Lashley match with Carlito? Maybe we get added on to Bobby Lashley's faction. Her BFAB could be the woman of the group.
I wouldn't hate that. I think that gives her longer potential than being with Adonis.
What have they done anything since Top Dollar got released?
I don't think so. I mean, again, I haven't paid super close attention to it since we were on our hiatus, but now that I can remember, the last thing I remember is them getting beat by LA Knight.
I think we need to start questioning where is MVP? Is he not going to be in this?
Is he still on Raw? I feel like I saw him the other week doing something.
He must have been parking the cars because I ain't seen him in a long time, man. Oh, Moss, he's fell off the face of the earth too. I don't know where he is.
Well, he'd be easy to locate out there.
Him and Satnam Singh have both just are in a police lineup right now, Micah. You can't identify.
Look, are we complaining about either? I mean, come on now.
Well, no, but still, though, they're big.
Yeah. But you got no giant when you got a bunch of 7-footers.
But Micah, you see how tall they are?
All right, Vince. But anyways, I think that this could be good for Santos. As for Survivor Series, I saw that they booked Carlito versus Santos. I think that'll be a good match. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I could see this dragging out 6 months and then it ends with him versus Ray at WrestleMania. But I don't know that it should go that long, and well. It's not 6 months to Mania.
About 5, 6 months.
I don't know. It really depends on when Ray comes back. But for the time being, like, I don't want this to devolve into he wrestles Carlito, he wrestles Joaquin, he wrestles Cruz del Toro. Up tag match versus Joaquin and Cruz del Toro. Like, and I have a feeling that's where this is going.
Oh shoot, I didn't even think. Okay, so the guys I was thinking of that they could call up to pair with Santos, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. Those guys, they got sent down to NXT. They ain't doing nothing.
I wouldn't hate that. I actually like Angel Garza. He's kind of, I mean, he's smaller, but he's good in the ring.
Yeah, I was kind of serious when I said they should do the LWO Wolfpack.
Well, they can't call it that. You know, I would, if they did something reminiscent of that, I don't think I would hate it.
Yeah, why not?
Funny enough, everything else is nostalgic.
Yeah, we got so many factions all over WWE and AEW. Let's add some more. Why not?
Well, following that, LA Knight was in the ring a little later.
Oh,
and
God, he cooked.
This was the first we had seen him since the Roman Reigns loss at Crown Jewel. I thought that overall it was a solid promo. I thought it did restore some faith in him. And the people were buying it. I just really hope at the end of the day, even though I enjoyed the match and I can understand why they did it, I hope it doesn't kill LA Knight.
He had a good line. I forget how he set it up, but he said that Grayson Waller wasn't allowed within 50 feet of a of a school. And, that was the fans. They haven't lost faith in him after losing to Roman. He was the most over guy on the show, and he showed why he's one of the best talkers in the business right now about straight cooking that Aussie jabroni Grayson Waller.
The collective groan that the audience let out when his music hit.
Oh man.
They need to send him back down to NXT or something.
Maybe he's doing his job, Micah. Maybe we're not supposed to like him.
Yeah, but I mean, come on now. There's a difference in heat and that's the way I felt when I saw him, and I wasn't even there. I wasn't even there.
They are committed to getting this guy over. You got to commend him for that.
Commend who? Him? I might condemn him.
Oh man.
Look, everything he says to me is fake. He doesn't look like a wrestler. I hate his gear. His jokes aren't funny. His puns aren't funny. And overall,
his social media game is on point though.
Well, sure, but that can only get you so far. You know what? I did not like them referring to that as X. I know it's not their fault because that is what it's called, but it just felt weird.
That didn't sound natural. Nobody calls it
that. But then they can't call it Twitter because, well, But anyways, I don't know. Do you think LA Knight is top 5 on the mic right now in WWE?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Oh, who you got? Yeah, Cody. Put Roman in there. KO's good. Sammy's pretty good. What? You said something?
I'm not. You can keep going.
Okay. What's wrong with KO?
I don't know. He just sounds fake to me every time. I just don't like. I'm not the biggest Kevin Owens guy.
Wow. I didn't know you felt this way, Mike. I thought
he's all right in the ring. He's just on the mic. I don't know why. I just can't buy him.
I enjoyed him on commentary on SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to it fully because Kevin Patrick's there, so I kind of just tuned it out. But
come on,
I didn't notice anything egregious. I don't know. He has a put on voice, and I mean, I know I probably have one doing this, but I used to hate. He hadn't done it in a while, but when he like tries to meta the conversation or like the fight, if you understand what I'm saying,
Yeah. Yeah, I get
or
that,
the segment.
but he still sounds like one of the most natural guys on the microphone in WWE. Like, it doesn't sound like he's reading from a script. Doesn't it sounds like that's who Kevin Owens is. Most guys, you don't think so?
I understand your point about the script, but I don't think that's how he sounds. I don't know why.
Well, he sounded the same when he was doing it in ROH though.
Yeah, but still, I don't know. I've never bought in. I liked him when he first came in. He was the prize fighter,
Yeah.
but other than that, like personally, and I'm probably gonna get some hate for this. And if you want to make a clip out of it, we can.
Okay.
I don't think that Kevin Owens ever should have been a world champion.
Oh, no, come on. Really?
I think Sammy should have been a world champion over him.
Oh man. I completely disagree.
I don't know how we got here, but we're here now.
Man. He was the talk of the town in ROH. He was a huge signing for WWE. When he came to NXT, they put the NXT title on him in less than 2 or 3 months. Then he shows up on Raw less than 4 months after that, beats John Cena in his first match. But
Like that.
You don't think he deserved that?
I don't know. Honestly,
you're fat shaming Kevin Owens. That's what it is.
No,
You
come
hate him
on.
because he wears a t-shirt. You're just like your hero Punk. You're just like Punk.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You don't like him in a t-shirt.
I don't like the t-shirt with no sleeves.
What?
For whatever reason. No, anybody that ever wears a shirt with no sleeves, I just don't like it.
Oh, come on.
Unless it's a jersey. I don't know. I've just never bought Kevin Owens like that. I don't know what to say. But anyways, top five talkers in WWE.
Okay, fine. I'll take Kevin Owens out because of what you said, but I don't agree with that. Who did I say? I said Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Cody. I was about to say Drew, but I don't know if I could put Drew in there.
But that's what I'm saying. You already got 4. LA Knight slide in there?
Yeah. Most definitely. Most definitely.
What about Miz?
Miz is there, but Miz is he's not in the main event scene, but you can still plug him in anywhere and he'll fit right in. He has a title match with Gunther coming up to Survivor Series. I think he's going to open a lot of people's eyes. And
I think they're going to have a good match.
I think so too. They might steal the show, honestly.
Well, speaking of the show, let's move a little forward. But if I had to say my top 5, I would say Cody in no order: Cody, Roman, Miz, Sammy, LA Knight.
No Jay?
I think the others are better than him. I like Jay, and he's right outside the top. He's like Kobe.
Oh man, don't do Jay like that.
What? You hating on Kobe? Kobe's good, but he's out of the top 5.
He's out the top 10, if you ask me, but
no, okay, now you're going too far. Well. Anyways, I did like the LA Knight promo. I'm not gonna lie.
The match was
I don't remember what the main event was. Well, yeah, the match was there, but that was just because Grayson Waller was in it.
Oh, come on. The main event was Damage Control gaining a member and Asuka turning on Bianca.
Dang, I must have.
Micah? Your thoughts?
Well, I guess my time thing was wrong or something. I thought the show was over.
Oh, no, it kept on going. They was there.
Must have missed that one. Was it good? I didn't see it.
They're doing something for Survivor Series. They're going to have a traditional Survivor Series 5-on-5 tag match. And I know this
Wait,
happened.
both
You said
the
what?
men and the women's?
No. Just for the women's. The women's having a 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series match. And the men's are having the War Games match, which I like. I don't want there to be 2 War Games matches on the same night, which is what
That's
I thought.
true.
I thought they were going to do that. But did you see the teams they have for the ladies?
I have not.
Okay, so the babyface team is hold on, I'll start with the heel. The heel team is, of course, Damage Control with Asuka. Because apparently she's a part of Damage Control now. And the
Oh, she's
baby,
heel?
yeah, she's heel. She turned on Bianca in this main event. Micah, you gotta pay attention to the
Oh,
product. Come on, man.
you didn't tell me who turned. I
Okay,
thought you were
fine.
saying Kyrie or
No, Asuka, she's with her other Japanese compadres and Dakota Kai and Bailey. They're all together now, Micah. There's Damage Control is
okay.
stronger than ever.
All right.
All right, okay. And so they're the heel team for the Survivor Series traditional 5-on-5 tag match. And the babyface team is Becky Lynch, solid choice.
That's random.
She is having
Well,
problems
she did
with
have the feud with Damage Control a couple
yeah,
months
okay.
ago.
Okay. We got Charlotte Flair, big star, very big star.
Okay.
Bianca Belair,
Okay, that makes sense.
okay. And Shotzi.
That's interesting. Well, but they've had, I mean, I'm not a big fan of hers, but they've had the back and forth, right? Like isn't that what happened? Isn't that why she shaved her head or something?
Yeah, they did, but still though, Shotzi in this match.
I mean, I hey, everybody every team's got to have the one that stays out on the floor majority of the night.
Oh man, this is it's gonna be interesting. And the last person is well, actually, no, I think that's it.
You only
Okay,
listed four.
so I guess they're only doing a 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series.
Well, then who's out on Damage Control?
Oh, they still got old girl out, the New Zealand chick. What's her name?
Dakota?
Dakota, yeah. Dakota.
Dakota.
Yeah, doing 4-on-4. But still though, the odd person out of that babyface team is definitely Shotzi.
Yeah, especially because that's like a super star-studded team. You
Yeah.
know this is gonna be really messed up. You
Oh.
know the picture of the 3 dragons?
Oh, come on. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
You gotta have a graphic of it. We put this on TikTok.
And or the one with the horse, and it's like the horse is 3/4 away drawn, like a
Yeah.
master class, and then it's a stick figure at the end.
Somebody wrote on X that it's like if you made a team of Superman, Spider-Man, Batman, and your accountant Jake.
Oh man. I feel bad. We're burying her.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, SmackDown was quick, which is fine. It was 2 hours. And again, you got one storyline that moves forward. Everything else is just kind of on the show. But a couple things to tune into. If you missed it, not a big deal. Speaking of missable television, the following day was Saturday Night Collision. I got one thing that I just wrote on here. I didn't really like highlight it for me and you to harp on. Dalton Castle versus Nick Wayne. I thought that Dalton Castle looked good. There was still a couple hiccups here and there. But I think that was mainly on like Nick Wayne's part. He's still green, and I would like to see him put on a little more muscle, and that'll probably come as he gets older. I mean, again, he is still 18. But I don't like Dalton Castle being a putover guy. And after this, I think he's got a match. They probably happened tonight on a Ring of Honor taping against Eddie Kingston for the world title. He just lost on Collision. How does that make any sense?
Well, that wasn't an ROH, Micah. It's a different promotion.
Is it? I almost said they interbreed constantly.
Whoa, look. Do they?
They cross promote constantly. I don't know why that was the word that was on my mind.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know why that was on my mind. Yeah, but I'm just really digging this hole deeper, aren't I?
Scoop Slam after dark, huh?
Yeah, I'm screwing this dog. You're just holding its head.
Oh Lord. Bad choice of words, but yeah, I get what you're saying, man.
So I don't know. I like Dalton Castle. I think he could be a good upper level mid card guy. If the world title was on him, I don't think I'd be appalled. But I don't know. I think he's a good wrestler. I don't understand why they like hold him down in Ring of Honor.
It's hard to get out of that pecking order they have you in. Like if you're taking L's on TV.
I see what you did there.
Oh yeah,
Peacock.
Yes, I already know. But it's hard though, if you're the fans perceive you as one thing.
The fans conceive you.
you got me thinking about the interbreeding still. Jesus. Oh man, you got me off track here, Michael. What are we talking about? Dalton Castle. Jesus.
Yeah.
And
why he's stuck in Ring of Honor.
He's taking a lot of L's, and the fans see him taking L's, and it's gonna be hard to shake that from our memories. And I don't see him ever having a mid card run or a main event run in AEW. I just don't see it.
Do you think WWE would be interested in him at some point?
I think that back is probably not gonna help his chances because his back was in really rough shape a couple years ago. And
Yeah.
I don't think WWE wants to take a guy in his late 30s with bad back problems.
Is he really late 30s?
It's got to be, right? He's been around a while.
I thought he was like maybe 34, but I mean, you're probably right. You've probably been keeping tabs on him longer than I have. I don't know. I think there's more there. Yeah, he's 37. I just feel bad for the guy because he's not I don't know, to me, he does really good character work and he's good in the ring. And it's just like, what does he have to show for it?
He's not a Make-A-Wish kid, Micah, and everybody gets to be world champion. Okay.
Well, that's fine, but is it too much to give him an international title run? Or
no, you're going to get Orange Cassidy and you're going to like it.
Yeah, we're going to get to that a little later.
Do we?
Not on this show, but
we have to.
Hey, I'm the one that tried to get out of it on this pay-per-view, and you made me.
Oh, the fans deserve to hear your thoughts on Orange Cassidy.
Do they? Well, I deserve to not have to watch him, but other than that, the only other thing was, as we talked about earlier, they love to have a tournament, Continental Classic announcement. They're, from what I can perceive or conceive, depending on who you ask on this show, I think they were trying to do the G1 like New Japan does, and I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. If it was their only tournament they ever had, then cool. They always have a tournament. So,
yeah.
Why is this needed?
And I believe it's round robin format. So we're going to get a lot of heels versus heels and faces versus faces in the tournament, which I don't know. Some people don't mind that, but you're going to have a lot of matches where fans are going to be sitting on their hands because they don't want to boo a particular person.
Well, it's 2023, Ryan. We don't have to have baby faces and heels in the ring.
Oh, we don't. Okay.
Well, that's what the fans. If you listen to the minority online, baby faces and heels is an outdated concept. Even though the most money-making franchise in Hollywood right now is superhero movies.
What? They don't have Superman facing. I don't know. I'm not good at my superhero references, Mike.
Yeah, I follow you, Superman.
Yeah, Superman versus that other superhero constantly on
that other jabroni.
Yeah, that guy. Batman. Yeah, Batman. Well, I think they did have a movie.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, okay.
I get people's point. Like, I think what people are trying to say is you can have sympathy for the villain, but
Hmm.
at the same time, he still has to be a villain. Like Joker, great villain, very evil. People still like Joker because sometimes he's entertaining and sometimes he's got a point. And there's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't mean that Batman doesn't, or even Batman. Batman has a darker side. He's a bad good guy. There are good bad guys, or bad guys who make good points. But at the end of the day, it's good guy versus bad guy. Why is this such a hard concept for everybody to get behind?
That's what makes the most money.
So I don't know. I'm in favor of tournaments. I like King of the Ring when it used to be taken serious in the '90s, but I mean, if we're just having tournaments every single month, like the Owen Hart tournament, I thought that was a good idea. Well, then you have 8 more. So what's left of it?
Yeah. They're well, the first entrant is Daniel Bryan. So no
Brian
quality.
Danielson.
Oh, Bryan. Damn. Yeah, not Daniel Bryan. Jeez. How do you feel about that? Is he gonna be healthy?
I don't know. He looked like he got stabbed he looked like Rey Mysterio a couple years ago in the
Oh,
promo
come
video.
on. Are there no qualifying matches? They just announce
I don't
Daniel.
know.
Just announce them.
I guess because he was there helping Tony announce it. I mean, I heard Andrade got picked for it tonight, so it's just like everything else in AEW. I'm sure the matches will be good. That's all anybody cares about.
What's the reward? Did they announce that?
Uh, if they did, I don't remember. I'm not saying they didn't have one.
I don't think they announced the reward. I think this is just for bragging rights.
It might be. We'll see. Like I know the G1 in New Japan, they get a shot at the New Japan World Championship.
Yeah, at Wrestle Kingdom. So it's their version
Yeah,
of the Royal Rumble. Are we gonna get
pretty much.
are we gonna get the winner of this thing main eventing at World's End?
No, because the end of it's at World's End. I think it'll.
Uh
I mean, maybe it could be Revolution, but that feels pretty long to stretch that out.
yeah, they're probably gonna add a January pay-per-view too, because they've been adding a lot.
You think? Well, we'll get to it later. We got our predictions. But yeah, that was Collision. Also, doesn't it kind of bury New Japan to like do a counterpart tournament? And it isn't the G1 like around the same time every year?
I think it isn't it already over? I think they already crowned the winner.
Oh well. I don't really keep up with it. I know
'Cause
Wrestle Kingdom's always in January.
I think they've announced the pretty much the card for Wrestle Kingdom. You know,
Oh well.
I'm not a big New Japan guy, but I feel like I've seen that pop up on my feed, like the Wrestle Kingdom card. What is it? Wrestle Kingdom 16?
No, I think this was 19.
Get out of here. Is it?
No, I'm serious because I think last year was 18. Like I'm pretty sure
Okay, it is Wrestle Kingdom 18.
18. Okay, I was one off.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the
Oh,
New Japan website here, and this is oh my god, this is ugly.
I
This board
haven't seen the card.
is okay. What we got?
Well, do I know any of the guys? I mean, I'm just being honest.
Well, they got Sonata is gonna defend the title against Tatsuya Naito.
Naito? Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
that's
put butts in seats.
I come on. I'm sure their fans will love it. That's the main event right now, and Okada versus Danielson is looking like it's gonna be a co-main event.
Oh, I forgot that was going to be on the card.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, let's move to Monday Night Raw or Friday Night Raw or Raw on FX, whatever you want to call it. A couple things here. It's kind of sad. This is 3 hours and there's like 2 takeaways. The first one being the Shinsuke promo.
Oh, all right.
Even though the match with Rollins and the feud I thought was bleh.
Mid.
I think these are the best thing they can do with Shinsuke. I think Triple H has got something with these. Not like main event level, but I think this is what Shinsuke needs to do now. But the bigger thing coming out of it is, who is he actually talking about?
Well, some people seem to think that he may be referring to Cody Rhodes in these backstage segments. I don't know. Wouldn't he? Can he just go attack Cody if he got such a big problem with him?
Yeah,
I
you would think.
you would think, but this is wrestling, so logic isn't exactly the most logical thing when you're watching wrestling. Maybe they don't even know who he's referring to right now. You think they even have anything mapped out?
Personally, I got a feeling that Orton is not the special guest for this War Games, and I think Shinsuke and Orton are going to face off.
Whoa, 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 whoa. You saying that Randy Orton isn't going to be the 5th member?
I don't think so.
Wow. I think that's pretty much a given at this point.
Here's what I think. And as much as I hate to say it, I'm kind of out on the fact that Punk is coming back at Survivor Series. I hope, but I feel like it's been a little too on the nose. And so, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But if I was a betting man, and I'm not, but for the sake of the argument, I will be. I think Orton fights Shinsuke, and the 5th member for War Games is Kevin Owens, because they've been selling this, having him on commentary that he was sick and he was hoarse because...
No, Kevin Owens is on SmackDown. Can't have that.
Oh, the brands don't matter. It's Survivor Series. The brands never matter.
Come on, they're not gonna have Kevin Owens be the 5th member. Come on, man. He just left town.
You, I got a feeling.
No, I think the 5th guy is Randy. 5th guy is Randy, and Shinsuke comes out to cut a promo throughout the event. Lights go out. We hear that static. 16,000 people jump to their feet. Cult of Personality blazes across the speakers. The prodigal son has returned. I'm telling you, man, that's going to happen. My sources have told me Saturday is happening. Next Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday is happening.
I hope. I would be lying if I told you that I didn't have a dream about it the other night. For whatever reason.
There you go.
That sounds very incel of me. Whoa. No, but I did have a dream that you and my brother, and I think my wife was at the house, and we were watching Survivor Series, and Punk showed up, and we were all like, holy crap.
Yes, I'm telling you right now. My sources have told me, Micah, the Scoop Slam podcast always get it right. We are reporting right here, right now, that CM Punk is returning next Saturday at Survivor Series.
With the many sources that we have at our disposal.
But plans could change, though.
Oh, see, there you go.
I'm just saying.
now no blame comes back on us. But following the Shinsuke promo, the Judgment Day backstage was another thing I want to talk about. So we kind of hinted at it earlier with them adding JD McDonough to the group. Priest had a little bit of pushback, but I think that the real dynamic here was Rhea really being the leader, but sort of acting through Priest. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was good stuff too. I enjoyed that backstage stuff.
Yeah, and I think that I can't remember now. When I was watching it, there was something that I equated it to. Yeah. Oh, okay. I remember now. I've been watching The Sopranos,
Oh,
and so Uncle June is Tony's uncle, and Uncle June is really the Don of the family, but Tony is the one really making the moves. But then he, like, basically uses Uncle June to further his plans. Does that make sense? And I
yeah.
feel like that's kind of the dynamic that Rhea and Damien have, where Rhea is really the leader, but she's letting Priest think that he is the leader and just using her motives to also move Priest or make him give directions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, she's the shot caller, if we're equating it to
Yeah,
prison talk.
sure.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what,
He's the figurehead.
yeah, there we go. That's a good term.
Okay.
Well, speaking of prison, I don't like the fact that Dom and Finn had on chibi shirts.
That was a good transition.
Well, you know, we try here at the Scoop Slam podcast. I just
I I have no idea what that is. You're gonna have to explain that to me, Mike.
you don't know what a chibi is?
What is that? I don't know what that
All
is.
right, so it's this thing, and like they have like anime shirts with them, but it's basically where they like have short little bodies of big heads, and they like draw the heads a certain way to make them look cute.
Okay.
And look, I get it for, I don't know, Alexa Bliss or Akira Tozawa or
Come
somebody who's
on.
more of a happy-go-lucky character, but like these guys all have tattoos and they dress in purple and black, and they're supposed to be like cult members essentially. So why why I know it's not up to them what their merch looks like, but like
Yeah.
do they have to wear it on TV?
It's not like Priest was wearing it, or some of Rhea wasn't wearing it, was she?
No, it was
Oh,
Finn and
okay.
Dom.
Yeah, see though, that's Finn and Dom. If you was to say that two guys in the Judgment Day are wearing that particular shirt, who would you guess, Micah? Be those guys, right?
I guess maybe for Dom it's like stupid funny, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I don't know. I know I'm nitpicking, but I just didn't like it. Um, Other than that, while I'm sure JD is going to be a flunky, I don't.
He's the fall guy.
Yeah, he's Spike Dudley, but at the same time, they already have
Dang.
Finn. So do they need another
Oh,
fall
come
guy?
on. Wow. Finn was just in the world title program.
But well, did it feel like a world title program?
Uh, it had the world title on the line.
Look, I don't have any tattoos or anything, but it's the same way kind of with Buddy Matthews in the House of Black. Everybody else has got tattoos and they actually look like, they kind of belong. Even Dom, like while he looks kid-ish still, I don't know, he looks like he belongs more than Finn and JD. They just don't, I don't know, nothing about them says like ruthless cult member.
See, I don't equate them to cult member. I just think they're, you know, biker gang type people.
Does Finn look like somebody who's in a biker gang or JD McDonough?
Well, they're
Exactly.
well, I'm sure there's people like that in biker gangs. Mike, I don't know. I'm not an expert in biker gangs, but I'm sure they're out
I'm
there.
not either, but I don't know. I'm nitpicking. Let's move on. The main event of the night was Cody and Jey Uso. Well, that makes it sound like his name. Cody Uso. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus
Okay, Cody.
the Judgment Day for the undisputed tag titles. It wasn't really much different than the match they had at Fastlane. I didn't hate it, but it just wasn't different.
Yeah, it was a Raw match. I think the talking point is the aftermath.
Absolutely. And I feel bad because I feel like I'm being really negative this week. I just like if you asked me gun to my head what my favorite matches was this week was, I have no idea.
You say your favorite what now was?
My favorite match this week.
Oh, yeah. Geez. I guess this tag match.
Maybe. It
Yeah.
was definitely a match this week.
Yeah. I didn't have like it wasn't egregious. They didn't do anything embarrassing or anything. It was kind of predictable and they didn't do anything crazy here. There's a lot of commercial breaks.
Yeah. And see, this is one of those weeks in podcasting that it's just kind of difficult. You kind of have to make chicken salad out of chicken crab because there's just not a lot to talk about.
Nah, man, it's how they present their matches on weekly TV. It's so like you barely get any ring time. You're watching commercials most of the night.
Yeah. Like AEW gives their matches time, but a lot of times you just don't care to see them.
You're numb to it because there's 35 kickouts in the matches. But
Yeah.
with Raw and SmackDown, boy, they start the match, they go to commercial, they come back to the match, they wrestle a little bit, they do a dive, they go to commercial, they come back from the break, they go to the finish. That's pretty much how it is for like a main event segment or like a long match on Raw. That's what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're all good matches, but we just don't see them.
Mm-hmm. And that's how I felt about this tag match. But like you said, the talking point's really the ending. So as Cody and Jay are about to win, um, Drew comes in, clocks Jay, hits him with a claymore, rolls him back in. Finn and Priest retain, and Drew basically officially joined the Judgment Day, which, as I just mentioned about Finn and JD, they don't really fit in. Drew doesn't have to have tattoos. I think he fits within the group. He looks like somebody that could stomp you into the dirt.
Hmm.
I do wonder if it's going to take away from Priest because they do have two giants. But then again, if they were tag champs and like if we remove Finn and JD from the group, if Drew and Priest were tag champs and Dom stayed North American champion, I think that group could work.
See, I didn't equate that to Drew joining Judgment Day. I just think that they needed a fifth guy and they recruited Drew as like a mercenary. I don't think he's joined the group per se.
Oh, I thought he did. I was thinking like he had pretty much lost everything. He has had no success in the past year. So why not turn yourself into the group that seemed to be rising in the company? Because I mean, they've all got gold.
Well, you could be right, but I don't think they ever said that he was the newest member or anything like that. I mean, maybe they will on Monday, but I think this is just a one-off for the War Games match, and
I can see that.
just the avenue to turn Drew heel.
Well, I guess we'll have to watch Monday then.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, we do for this, but oh wait, well, I don't know. We got Full Gear. We'll see how the week plays out. No, we're not doing a weekly review next week. We got a Thanksgiving break, so you guys can watch Raw and find out.
We'll check it on the Hulu version.
Yep. And that's pretty much it for Raw. Again, just like much of this week, just not a ton of substance. And we land ourselves on the Wednesday night Dynamite show to close out the week. And I was glad it did. Because I didn't want to see any more after this. I don't think I told you to watch this or we highlighted it, but I watched the show live, so this was the first match. Blackpool Combat Club, Moxley and Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy and Hook. You didn't watch this, did you?
Not at all.
Okay. So I'll just touch on this real quick. This is the epitome of just what I hate about AEW. Like, they just do stuff because they think it's cool, and it doesn't make any sense. Hook, I think, punched Yuta or hit him with one of those like elbow strikes. You know what I'm talking about? Where they like crane their elbow and hit him in the side of the head.
Yeah.
Yuta proceeds to run backwards, like completely turned around, ran, goes through the bottom rope. You know that thing that Ray Phoenix does where he's like falling and he catches himself on both the ropes and swings back in?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Yuta does that on the very bottom rope, comes back and clotheslines Hook. But, like, he wasn't falling backwards and caught himself. He straight up turned shoulder, ran into the ropes, and did that. And Hook just stands there like a jabroni waiting for him and watching him to come back.
He didn't try to move out the way.
No,
Was
of course not.
Was he standing right there staring at him? Or
Oh, yeah. It was all going to look cool.
was he dazed and confused from the nifty moves he put on?
I guess. You could call it that.
So Yuta beat Hook and nobody cared. Remember Hook was like the most unbeatable thing on AEW television?
Oh, yeah. Well, hold on. I got to get to the finish, too.
Okay.
Because
That was-
Moxley comes in. No. That wasn't the finish. He just clotheslined him and they went to another move.
Oh, of course. Okay. Of course.
Moxley comes in, not the legal guy. It
Who cares?
dissolved. I almost said disseminated.
Oh, God.
That it dissolved into a tornado tag. Imagine that. Moxley hits the Death Rider, and then Yuta's still the legal man. Hook is laying there like a dead corpse, like Roddy Strong almost was tonight. And instead of just pinning him, Yuta goes for the freaking seatbelt pin. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the elaborate pinning combination he does. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, which is fine. Like, I understand why they did it because it makes sense for Yuta's character or whatever that they're trying to convey, and I understand that. Hook was like trying to sell motionless, and he was wrenching the crap out of Hook's arm, trying to get him into the seatbelt, and it looked like he was going to tear his shoulder out. So, God forbid somebody just take a normal pin after eating Moxley's finisher, a 2 or 3 time world champ. Nope, seatbelt pin and let me hurt the other guy. But yeah, as you said, Hook lost and got pinned by Wheeler Yuta.
My God. Yeah, it's over for him. Do you ever see them doing anything like worthwhile with Hook, or is it over?
No, it's over. He's been paired with Orange.
He's been Wardlow now.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying that he is Taz, because Taz was obviously like 3 times his size and could probably eat Hook. And Taz was a legitimate guy who, like, you could be afraid of. I don't think Hook has that appeal, but he's got a shoot amateur background, I'm pretty sure. Or if he doesn't, he looks like it in the ring.
Didn't he play lacrosse?
And instead, he played lacrosse?
He played lacrosse. Come on now. Don't you lie to me, Micah.
Look, he wrestles like he has an amateur background. His dad's Taz.
Yeah, I believe Taz, but there ain't no way I believe Hook.
Well, look, regardless, he's been shackled with comedy acts for about 1.5 years now for no reason. And if I was Taz, I'd be pissed.
Remember Danhausen and him were a team?
Yeah. And then he moved to Orange Cassidy.
Oh, so he's going to all the joke comedy guys, right?
Yeah. Next week he'll be with Tony Storm.
Oh man. Luther.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
This match started the night, and I was like, I remember why I don't watch the show live anymore.
Yeah, that would have been enough to run me off. I'm not gonna lie, Micah.
Oh, well, I can tell you where I dipped.
Oh.
And keep in mind here, people, I was at work. I had literally nothing better to do than watch The Sopranos, and I did that. But the segment following was Hangman Adam Page and
Oh,
Swerve Strickland.
the promo of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, let me preface with this, because some people take the fact that we talk negatively of things on here as we're trying to convince somebody on how to feel. I'm not telling you how to feel about it at all. I might make fun of you if you feel that way, but it's wrestling. Making a joke, whatever. I don't wish any of these people harm. I don't wish any of these people to be broke on the street. And if I say they shouldn't be wrestling, I'm not saying that I want them to not have a job.
Nah, there's a couple guys I don't want to have a job on this show.
I just mean I might not want them to be wrestling in a national television capacity.
No, they should be in a bingo hall somewhere.
Hangman Adam Page does not do it for me. And
What?
people were going crazy for this, saying it was promo of the year.
Whoa.
There was so many things wrong with this.
I seen some people say the best promo line ever when Hangman said, "I'm gonna beat your A and steal your weed." Micah, that was the best promo line ever.
It was. It's not
Yeah.
like, you had literally one of the greatest talkers in the company for months cut great promo after great promo. Or it's not like MJF hitting top 5 in the world right now.
No, he's not the main character of AEW. Shut up, Mark.
Here we go. So, yes, it's a blood feud between Swerve and Hangman Adam Page, right?
Okay.
So, let's talk about stealing your manager's weed, because that's going to pop the crowd.
They loved it.
Yep. As a babyface, let's proceed to call the guy a bum, make fun of him for losing his job,
Oh my god.
make fun of him for losing his wife and not being able to see his kids,
Jeez. Ouch.
and then ambush his manager.
The manager had nothing to say. You know what he did do though, Micah? He danced.
He danced.
He did
He
dance.
dang sure danced.
That's all that he's good for in AEW apparently is the shuck and jive.
Well, you know why.
Oh well.
Look, it's nothing about what Hangman did was a babyface reaction. He has no inflection in his voice. He just talks like this, and Swerve, you are not going to beat me because it's gonna be a Texas death match. He just has the same voice the whole time.
That was a pretty
There's
good
no
impression.
inflection. I try. There's no. It's just loud. He's just talking with his entire mouth. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, and me personally, you can say all that stuff, but you gotta at least let my man have a retort back.
Exactly.
That was egregious right there. He just sat
I
there
was
and took
waiting
it.
for Swerve to say something.
Why did he just take that? Was there only one mic at the show and they had to share it? What happened there?
Well, Swerve had it originally, and Hangman just came up and snatched it out of his hand, and Swerve never did. Page dropped the mic and was starting to walk out, and Swerve just sat there.
Yeah. And I feel like Swerve has to beat him, right?
He has to, or else he looks like the biggest jabroni in the world.
We'll get to the predictions later, but I don't think this is going to end at Full Gear. I think they're going to have a third match. So
I probably, and they're probably going to have to sacrifice their firstborn son in the next one since the second match is Texas Death.
I was just about to say that. Why are they going? They're going further from a Texas death match. Is that not the blow off to a feud?
That's the same thing they did with Moxley. Remember, was it Revolution? And then they had a steel cage match on Dynamite to end the feud.
Well, you remember Jericho, and he was feuding with some group. I forget, but they had the blood.
That's real specific.
Come on, man. I don't know. He has these feuds that are they're not memorable at all. But they had a blood and guts match as like the first match, and then they just had like a stadium stampede match as the second one, and the third one with something else.
I think that was the Blackpool Combat Club.
Well, no, because Jericho in the Inner Circle. Remember, he took not the Inner Circle, but the one he had before that, the group he had before the Inner Circle.
Oh shoot, who were they feuding?
You remember
with?
he got thrown off the stage into the the mattress? I don't remember.
Was that the Pinnacle?
Yeah, that's it.
That was it.
Yeah.
So I don't, you know, the booking doesn't make any sense, but I'm sick of people praising Hangman Adam Page for this promo. It was not good. It was not a babyface promo, and people were like, well. Swerve has done things bad to him. Okay, well that's fine, but what, he can't get a response? Like he looks like a joke. Well, just standing there. Again, Swerve talked about him losing his job. Page talked about him losing his job. Your fiance won't talk to you. Your kids won't talk to you. You got a manager leeching off of you. Oh, okay. Sounds good. And then beat up my manager, and I'm just going to stand here. And I understand it was no contact, but Swerve's a better promo, in my opinion, than Page, and he can't get a daggum lick in.
You think they lost faith in Swerve?
Maybe.
Crazy,
I tell you who they should have lost faith in.
Who's that?
The guy standing across from him.
Well, they didn't do anything with him for like a whole year. So I think they did lose faith in him. Or at least he lost his passion for the business, Mike.
Oh, here we go. The dark cloud looming over me isn't here anymore. Get over yourself. The dude's they can't stop talking about him, and he got fired like 4 months ago.
He might be the reveal for the devil. So that cloud might be coming back.
I hope it's Jungle Boy. I really do. Because I'm just going to laugh.
That might lose me. You might be doing this podcast alone.
Well, you don't like AEW already.
I won't be here for that one.
Well, speaking of things that I wish I wasn't here for, let's round out the review.
Oh,
the
God.
Like a Dragon street fight.
Oh, God.
Was the main event of this show.
Yeah.
And
highly praised online.
Yeah. 4.25 stars from Dave Meltzer himself.
Yeah. And you remember that really good match with Roman and LA Knight that we praised?
Mm-hmm.
3 stars and a quarter.
Was it really?
Yes.
I thought you were joking when you texted me that earlier.
No. No, that's legit.
Yeah. Here we go. All right, I'm just gonna say a couple things.
Okay.
First off, what I tweeted was my exact thoughts. What happened to the game that I loved? Because this is not it. So, before I say anything else, people, if we do turn this into a clip on TikTok or people will listen to it on Spotify, whatever, many of you are going to ask, did I watch this to hate on it? And my answer would be, absolutely. Kenny Omega and Kota Ibushi waste a good minute waiting for their opponents to set up on the outside so that they can catch them, so they can do their little flip that they do in every match. Meanwhile, Kota Ibushi literally does not know what move is next. And you can see the look on his face as Kenny Omega is like, We got to do the moonsault.
It took him so long to set up for that moonsault too. Like Brian Cage was just standing there with his hands in his pocket, waiting on him.
And he was in the middle of the ring at first, and Kenny had to like push him over there, and then Kenny walked away, and Kota started to walk back, and Kenny was like, "No, stay over there." So that happened.
Yeah.
Then somehow more egregious. It just keeps getting worse. Kota Ibushi gets a bicycle. Heard that right, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
And he pulls a lead pipe, I'm presuming, out of his anal cavity.
Okay.
I don't know where it came from.
All right. He takes the worst swings of all time with this pipe.
Were they swings? He just held it out as he drove by going a mile an hour.
It kind of reminded me of, you remember when Hogan used to hit people with chairs and he would like just barely tap them? It reminded me of that.
I think Hogan's chair shots look more devastating. So, yeah, he's driving on this bike and he's tapping people with this lead pipe and they're having to sell it like they just got clocked.
Well, hold on, Micah. And then the commentators were laughing hysterically watching this too.
Oh, how could I forget? They thought it was hilarious.
Of course, yeah.
Oh, and Kota Ibushi. Oh my God, the lead pipe! Get over yourself.
They were hysterical about that bicycle.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
Yeah, but continue painting this picture for us, Micah.
But how do people enjoy this? Like, do you just turn your brain off and say like, okay, I'm here to laugh at wrestling? And I'm not saying that there can't be funny things in wrestling. Like, my God, one of the most classic wrestling things of all time is Austin in the beer truck. And it was funny. And Vince slipping on the beer is hysterical. It's ridiculous and it looks stupid. But it's not making fun of the in-ring wrestling.
Yeah.
You don't have somebody acting like they just got clocked with a baseball bat when they're getting tapped with a lead pipe.
It was so embarrassing. Ibushi, they signed this guy too, man. Did you see that?
Yes. He's awful. People hyped him up for months on Twitter, and he sucks.
He has not been good at all. What are they thinking? Why sign him? Were people clamoring for them to sign this guy after seeing him? How many matches has he had? Like 4 or 5? Has he impressed in any?
I know one guy who's clamoring for him to get signed.
Uh-oh.
His tag partner.
I'm sure Tony Khan is loving him too. Has he even had a singles match? Do they not? They don't even trust him to have a singles match, but they got enough faith in him to sign him to a contract.
Yep.
Where's he gonna?
I don't think he has had a singles match.
What's he gonna do?
Do the same thing he does now. Embarrass everybody on the show.
Stink up the joint every week. Or I say every week.
Yep.
He probably won't be seen for the next 3 months and then pop up again when they conveniently need a fall guy. But yeah, the bicycle spot, he got clotheslined and landed directly on his head. Looked terrible to take, but that's what he does though. He lands on his head.
Well,
and he gets right back
Murder
up.
Ibushi.
He gets back up too, Micah.
Mm-hmm. He don't sell a dang thing. He's strongman competition.
He practices neck strong, like Roger.
Yeah. So then later on, Konosuke Takeshita got the bicycle, started swinging it around, which
that looked good.
In and of itself, I wouldn't want to get hit with a bicycle, and he was swinging it around like crazy.
Yeah.
So it kind of made him look strong, but then he takes Kota and suplexes him onto the bike that's laying down on its side. God forbid one of those pedals hits you in one of your daggum, on your spine the wrong way. No, let's not think about that. Let's take a stupid spot for absolutely nothing because nobody's going to remember it.
I forgot that happened.
Yep. Kenny Omega is getting just murdered in the ring by Brian Cage and Kyle Fletcher. And at the bottom of the screen, Kota Ibushi just walks by. And then you see him walk back the other direction.
Well, Micah, he's still getting used to the TV cameras. He's not used to it. They don't film it like that in New Japan.
Well, what are they in? 1950? They don't have TV or cameras?
They don't sell in New Japan? Jabroni just took a brain buster on a bike.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hadn't even gotten to that point yet. So he's just waltzing around the ring while his lover or best friend, whatever they are. I'm not knocking the guy, but I'm just saying, obviously, they have a deeper relationship. And pretty much everybody on Twitter knows it.
Okay, all right.
Well, look, everybody on Twitter has accepted the fact that they're together. And if they're not, they're really good friends.
Great friends.
If I was getting mauled in the ring, and me and you were really good friends, not like Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega, but we're really good friends. If I'm getting mauled in the ring, you're just gonna walk by and leave me in there?
Well, Mike, I gotta set up for my next spot, brother. Gotta set some tables up.
Oh yeah.
Gotta set some tables up.
Oh yeah.
Brother. You know?
So look, it don't make sense. Even if you're not that good of friends, he's on your team.
Yeah. But that's not even the best part. You got to talk about one Paul White in this match too, Micah.
Oh, yeah. So later on, well, this is actually earlier, but Big Show or Paul White.
There you go.
And you're very...
Cease and desist, brother.
Very on the nose with your terminology. So Paul White and Hobbs are in the back brawling. And Paul White, who looks like 93 Andre with mobility, takes a power slam onto the car.
How did he get up there?
I don't know. Look, I feel bad for him. Oh, come on now. What is it like that time Yokozuna broke his leg? Oh, come on.
Okay, I'm sorry, man. What were you saying?
That was a low blow. So, anyways, I gotta collect myself.
Yeah.
So, Big Show, obviously, or Paul White, dadgummit. Okay, so his mobility is obviously limited. I really do feel bad for him. I hate that for him. So, why does that mean you need to take a bump like this? Onto a car.
Out of all the bumps to take as a 50-year-old, 7 foot plus, 400-pound, multiple surgeries on your hips, multiple surgeries on your knees, giant that Paul White is, he takes a terrible looking car bump when they could have just pre-recorded this and had him land on a crash pad somewhere. Why did he need to do that?
Why couldn't Hobbs throw him off the stage like that onto a bunch of tables, like a crash pad under a bunch of tables?
Yeah, it seemed way unnecessary. Maybe he took all that criticism to heart last week, and he had to prove himself.
I mean, maybe, but dadgum.
Well, look, when he got scoop slammed, Micah, which that does count for the scoop slam tally that we're keeping for the year.
We are.
Oh yeah, of course. We keep tally that. He was knocked out immediately. He being Paul White when he took the scoop slam. Why was he knocked unconscious?
I had more questions for Hobbs because he stood there through the commercial break barking at him.
Well, he had to get everything off his chest. Remember he had a problem with Chris Jericho at that show that he went to when he was 8 years old. Maybe Paul White was at that show too, and he said something to Grandma.
He might have been.
Yeah.
Maybe when they were teaming as Jericho.
Oh, that was a travesty to everybody watching that.
So, yeah. I feel like I had one more point. I do feel bad that Hobbs had to be involved in this.
Yeah, and he kind of like a jabroni because he stayed backstage. Well, not jabroni, just a goof because he stayed backstage talking to Paul White for like 15 minutes while his partners were getting beat up.
Oh, yeah. And then they had the numbers advantage. Don't matter. But that was the least of the egregious things.
One more.
And as you mentioned earlier,
There's one more thing.
yep. Kyle Fletcher gets Coda in a tombstone pile driver onto a bunch of chairs, onto the floor outside. Looked devastating. Awful bump. I wouldn't want to take it, but if you feel like it, sure. And probably 2 minutes and Kota Ibushi's up. Kyle Fletcher's still there dead, and he's the one that gave the move. Not Kota Ibushi, though. Nah, brother. We don't sell around here. Hulk Hogan style.
The commentators thought it was hilarious, too.
Oh, yeah. They didn't know what to say. And then they look like Jabroni's trying to cover for him. And, of course, Excalibur's laughing because it's the funniest thing.
He made a miraculous recovery, and that's hilarious when he no-sells stuff. I almost slipped there. My God.
I heard that. This show was terrible. And, of course, people say it was great. And
greatest Dynamite of all time.
This is just the problem I have with AEW right now. It's just not the same. It's not what it used to be, and it's never gonna be. It used to be somewhat serious, somewhat coherent. It was supposed to be an alternative, and instead, this is literally it's just WWE.
Yeah,
with better matches.
And when all those guys are free and clear, the Mustafa Ali, the Dolph Zigglers, the Matt Riddle, Ronda Rousey, when all those guys' contracts are clear and the no compete clause is over, they're heading to AEW, Micah. Just want you to know that. It's going to be more WWE light.
They're falling into the same trap that TNA got into because you can bring in some WWE guys. Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy, Christian Cage, Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, God.
But when you start to, well, they brought Jeff Jarrett into AEW too.
Yeah. Oh, you got a point.
When you start to turn your show into something completely different and it's WWE light, that's exactly what killed TNA. People like the six-sided rings, people like the youth movement, people like the crazy style of wrestling. Not too much, but they love the AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, X Division, that stuff. They got away from that. Four-sided ring, Hogan and Bully Ray versus Garrett Bischoff and I don't know, name somebody else who shouldn't have been there.
Magnus.
And yeah, well, I like Magnus, but besides the point. So, I mean, when you get away from what people watch your show for, that's why people don't like WWE. You sent me a text a couple weeks ago. You remember when people complained about Big Show being in the main event?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I lived it. 8 years ago, this jabroni was getting please retire chants every single week on television. But now, let's have him in a match. Yeah, Paul White. Yeah, let's see him in a street fight. Yeah, we want to see that. No, we don't. We didn't want to see it a decade ago. Why do we want to see it now?
No. We don't want to see a street fight with like any of these people.
No. I don't know why I don't know why Fletcher was there, honestly.
I don't know. You can say that by half of. I honestly didn't even know what to say to that. You're not wrong, but like
I forgot who that was. You're in the match. Who the heck is that?
And then let's add on to the fact that everybody wanted to crap on the Mountain Dew Blacklight match. And
Whoa.
this is no different.
Whoa. Mountain Dew pitch black match.
There we go. Terminology. Look, this, it's not what it used to be, and it's not going to be. It used to be somewhat serious. We used to get programs like MJF and Punk, stuff that was serious, and now everything's funny, or everything is
comedy.
Just
everything.
Yes, it's comedy, or it's wrestling for the sake of wrestling.
It's like 90% comedy now. Like the backstage segments are pretty much just, I don't know who's producing these segments where they feel like SNL sketches. Most of them. They just see the egregious Tony Storm sketches. That I'm not a fan of that at all. And that's just part of the course for Dynamite and Collision most weeks. There's nothing but sketch comedy.
Yep. It's turned into BTE.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
See, and they quit doing BTE a couple weeks ago. You know why? Because they're doing it every week on Wednesday night for 2 hours.
And Saturday now.
So,
And you know what? Going back to the Mountain Dew pitch black match, you guys, not you personally, Micah. Well, yeah, you too. Yeah, you buried that match, saying that it was embarrassing. But AEW can have the Like a Dragon match. They can have the what was that? What was that match with Jeff Jarrett and Jeff Hardy?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre match and the Cracker Barrel match. They can have that. But and the Mimosa match that Jericho had with Orange Cassidy. Let's just forget that ever happened. But God forbid WWE has a Mountain Dew pitch black match or a tie-in to a Batista movie match. Well, we're the bad guys then, right?
Now, look, and that's why I'm here, because I'm calling them both bull crap.
Well, I appreciate it. Keep it fair.
Exactly. And that is what I'm so sick of with the AEW fan base. And there's a lot of this in WWE too. It's on both sides. But right now, there's a lot of whataboutism, and there's a lot of coping with AEW. And again, I'm not telling anybody how to feel, but this is just how I feel. The show is not the same, and it's sad when Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer have to tell people that you can't just keep saying, no, it's okay, you're making a big deal out of it, when you can't just keep letting it be water under the bridge. There are problems. It's comedy every week. There's people not showing up to the shows. There's people not watching anymore.
And you can say WWE is having, the creative isn't the greatest right now, but all I know is WWE is selling out buildings every single Monday, every single Friday, and AEW barely putting 2,000 people in 20,000 seats arenas. So, I mean, there you have it.
Yep. Look, I'm just giving you my thoughts. This is all this show is. I'm not telling you how to feel. I don't think you're telling people how to feel. We're two friends who get together to do a show because we would talk about it like this on the phone. Yeah. So, if you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. All I'm saying is, I do not enjoy 90% of what's on Dynamite anymore. And I like AEW got me back in. And now I don't want to watch it.
Jeez. They took you out.
Yeah, I mean, and now they signed Ronda Rousey, and I'm not trying to be that way, but
spoiler.
I don't, well, we're not doing a weekly review.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch her. It used to be serious. It used to, like, the alternative that I wanted was sports-based programming, real issues.
That's what they promised.
Real wrestlers.
That's what they promised at the beginning. A real sports feel. But now we get Like a Dragon match on television.
Yep. And for the people that love it, I am glad that you enjoy it.
Oh, they love
Truly.
it. They love it.
But for those of you who keep saying, like, no, it's fine, you're making a big deal out of it. I'm not saying AEW is going to fail. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's
Hey,
very evident a couple things.
I would be very concerned because they have not signed another media rights deal. That's something to keep your eye on. Especially now that WWE is on the CW, that's Warner Brothers, right?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure that's Warner Brothers. I wouldn't rule out Raw going to maybe Raw gets a deal with TNT or TBS and they just drop AEW. That's something to keep your eye on because
It would be funny, but I don't know that it would happen.
the FX deal isn't 100% done. And as we know, things can change in wrestling. We thought NWA was going to be on the CW a couple weeks ago, but NXT took that spot. So I would be very concerned if I was a AEW diehard because they haven't signed anything new and their media rights deal is coming up very soon.
Well, let's go ahead and close out the show. We got our predictions, but that was our weekly review. I, I just don't know what to say about Dynamite anymore. There's so much comedy on the show, and it's not good comedy either. Like, some things are funny and I don't mind it in wrestling, but God, why is most of their humor like middle school? Not even that. It's like embarrassing.
It's like guys that watch The Hangover. They got the idea they can do it, and that's pretty much what I equate it to. Wannabe comedians writing a wrestling show.
Yeah. Well, for the first match listed on Wikipedia, again, I don't know if this is the official order. Hikaru Shida versus Timeless Tony Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship.
I got Tony. Just
That's
because,
what I'm thinking.
yeah, because everybody loves her right now, so they're going to give her the title. Nobody cares about Sheeta.
Yeah. I honestly couldn't even tell you the last match she had.
She had that Halloween trick or street fight. You don't remember that, Micah?
Oh, no, I didn't.
With Abaddon.
Oh, I thought you asked if I watched that.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I can't blame
Next up, 6-man tag team match: Sting, Darby Allin, and Adam Copeland with Ric Flair versus the Patriarchy: Christian Cage, Luchasaurus, and Nick Wayne.
Ric Flair.
He's managing.
Okay. Well, they're winning then.
Yep. I do like the name, the Patriarchy, though.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But Sting, as we know, Sting don't lose in AEW.
Oh, no. In the Barn Burner Classic match, Orange Cassidy versus John Moxley for the AEW International Championship.
Ooh, boy. This is a pick'em right here. I'm going to go Moxley because I figure they had plans with the international title before he got hurt, and he never got to do that. So they're probably going to make good, and he's going to beat OC one more time after 30 kickouts and 15 Superman or orange punches, whatever he calls them.
I think I'm taking Cassidy because
Wow.
I don't think that Tony is going to let his favorite eat 2 pins in a row from Moxley.
You don't think they want to complete those plans they had with Moxley?
I mean, maybe. I could see that, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. That's fair. That could go either way.
Yeah.
We got to watch that too, Mike. You can't skip it.
I was about to say, I wish I could go the other way. In a Texas death match, Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana.
I feel like Swerve has to win, but I know he's not gonna win. I got Hangman Adam Page winning this.
That is my thoughts 100%. Swerve should win, but it's gonna be Page. I just got a feeling.
Maybe it's a beatdown afterwards to try to get some heat on Swerve, but Hanger don't lose those Texas death matches, Micah. He's the main character of AEW. You know that, Micah.
No, I heard you. I was just pondering.
That's what everybody says online. The main character of AEW. Maybe that's why I don't like AEW.
Why? Because he's the main character, or
Yes.
because people refer to some of their wrestlers as the main character?
Both.
Yeah. Next up, the Golden Jets versus the Young Bucks. If the Golden Jets win, they get their AEW World Tag Team Championship opportunity. But if the Bucks win, the Golden Jets must disband as a team.
Wait a minute. Why are they called that?
I think it has something to do with like Winnipeg or something. I don't know.
Okay. So it's Omega and Ibushi, right?
No. It's Omega and Chris Jericho.
Oh, okay. Uh, I think the Bucks win.
I think so too.
Yeah, because Omega and Jericho are more valuable as singles acts anyway. Who wants to see them tag? I don't.
Kenny is 10 times better by himself, in my opinion.
By himself,
In
solitude, away from civilization. I don't want to see him.
I don't hate him if he's a single, but he needs a manager because he's not good on the mic, in my opinion. And if he's with the Bucks or Hangman or Jericho or Coda, he's so weighed down.
Maybe that's the reveal. Maybe he's the devil, and they reunite the elite, the Bucks, and I don't know.
Oh God,
I can see it.
my money's on Jungle Boy. Three-way match for the AEW TBS Championship: Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart versus Sky Blue.
I don't remember this being built up, but I guess who's the champ?
Statlander.
Statlander. Yeah, I'll go with her.
I'm gonna say Julia because Sky Blue's been having some storyline where she's turning dark, so I think they're gonna team up, and Julia's gonna beat Statlander because they got. I don't know. They seem to be putting some stake in Julia, but I don't know. I could also see Statlander winning. Four-way tag team ladder match for the AEW World Tag Team Championships: Ricky Starks and Big Bill versus La Faction Ingobernable, Rush and Dralistico, with Jose the Assistant versus FTR.
Who the heck is that? Who the heck is Dralistico? I've never.
Wait a minute.
I thought it was Preston Vance. I thought he was Rush's tag partner.
I did too. It says that this guy used to be Dragon Lee.
Oh yeah, you know how they do in Mexico? They have guys play other characters. Like they had a bunch of Mysticos, and
he also used to be a Mystico.
Oh yeah, well, okay. Well, I didn't know he was in this match, but I'm going with FTR.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. Which sucks for Ricky Starks and Big Bill, but you know what to do, Ricky. Pack your bags.
Oh, it's over for him. He's not even on Dynamite at this point.
Well, you know what? Kings of the Black Throne are also in this. Malachi and Brody. You know what? They might have a chance because they haven't lost a tag team match in like 900 days or something like that. They've been like the PWG tag team champions for forever.
Well, PWG ain't ran no shows last year. That's why.
Oh, well.
Can't defend it. Ain't nothing to defend.
I don't know. They did the Battle of Los Angeles this year because I remember Jericho being there.
That was the last show they ran. The promoter put out a statement that said that he hasn't ran a lot of shows this year because his girlfriend is sick or something. I don't know.
Well, anyways, they've been champ for, I don't know, 7, 800, 9, whatever days. I don't know. I could see that one going to anybody but La Faction and Gobernable.
But you got to take into fact, though, Micah, that the Bucks are still going to be number one contenders.
That's true. It's probably going to be FTR, but
FTR,
we'll see.
FTR, so they can drop it to the Bucks.
Yeah, because they want their win back,
Well, of course,
brother.
Of course.
And the singles match for the AEW World Championship, MJF versus Jay White.
I think he loses the tag titles, MJF, I mean, earlier on in the pre-show. But I think he
Yeah.
I think he retains
Because he's
the world
teaming
title.
with Samoa Joe.
Is that official?
Yeah, it's on this card. I bet they made it official tonight on Collision, but I ain't watched it.
Yeah, I can see him losing to the Guns, and I feel like he's going to retain the world title to Jay White. And at World's End, we get one more match with these guys, which nobody wants to see, but Tony Khan loves Jay White, and the New Japan diehards love Jay White, so we're not going to be done with this. But MJF wins on Saturday.
Yep, he'll lose at World's End because his contract's coming up.
Is that a shoot?
I think so.
I hope so.
I think he's. Well, I don't know.
He's gonna be in Tampa, Micah.
We'll get to the predictions, but
Is he gonna be in Tampa?
hey, last year we were right with a lot of them, and I got a feeling MJF's done.
Wow, MJF and Ricky Starks, huh?
And Wardlow.
Well, he's gonna be
and Hobbs.
Oh man, it's just kill the whole company. I'm like,
oh well, they'll have Chris Jericho and Paul White, brother.
Oh, and they
got
the greatest heel of all time, Jay White.
Oh well, you know.
No, I don't know.
Well, I don't know what else to say. This was definitely a week in wrestling, and I probably just talked negatively for 2 hours, so I probably sound like a miserable prick to everybody on that listens to our show because I nitpick everything.
We nitpick because we care.
Yep. And the shows could be better. Like, ultimately, that's my thing about Dynamite. I want AEW to be a force. Like, I seriously want AEW to be as big as WWE.
That'd be nice.
And so it just bothers me when they do stuff like this constantly, because there's proof that the viewers are not gaining. They float around 8 to 9 to 7 literally all year. So and I don't know, like, yeah, everything's not my cup of tea, and that's fine. There's some stuff on SmackDown that I'm sure people really enjoyed, or Raw, or Dynamite, or Collision. That's not my cup of tea. That's cool. But there's some stuff that's just bad, and that's what that tag team match, or that like a Street Fight Dragon match was.
Like a Street Fight Dragon.
It was just bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know what else to say. Make sure to tune in. We'll have our full gear review up next week, and make sure to also tune in to find out who our first time interview is going to be with. I think it's going to be really good. I'm really excited to bring that to you guys. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Exclusive clips, exclusive news. If you don't manage to listen to our episode in time, it will be posted there. So make sure to check that out. Share us with your friends. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got. We don't have any sponsors right now, so if you want to sponsor us, let me know. But in the meantime and in between time, have a good one, and hope you have a wonderful week of wrestling and a wonderful Thanksgiving. Have a good one.